This is a podcast about one woman's mission to help entrepreneurs and business owners write better business books. Each week, we tackle your writing excuses, because there are excuses too, and help you beat the blank page of doom so that you can write the book that'll grow your life and your business. Now here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello and welcome to the 1000 Authors Show. I'm Vicky Fraser and this is my husband, Joe.
Hello.
Hello. No, your hairline is not receding.
It looks further away than normal. I'm concerned.
This follows a discussion in which Joe just said, "When are we dyeing my hair?" And then asked me to kiss him on the cheek so that he now has a lipstick print on his cheek. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then you can see Joe's receding hairline and lipsticky face in all its glory. I don't think your hairline is receding.
I think perhaps I've spent too long in the house.
Maybe. We are now on day 4,753 of lockdown in the UK. What day actually is it?
It's Tuesday today. We're recording this. It is
Blur's
Tuesday the 31st.
Blur's Day, the flibbity flobbed of...
It's all just blurring into one big mess, isn't it?
Yeah.
One
What
big
day
mess.
actually of lockdown is it? Is it day 8?
Well, I don't know. When was... You would need to know when it started in order to work that out. I think we're about a week in, aren't we?
I think we're on day 8.
You reckon?
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, welcome to the show. We are drinking herbal tea today. Cheers.
Misery
Because
tea.
it's 5:20 in the afternoon and we're going to do a fitness class at 6:30, aren't we, Joe?
Stupid fitness classes. Yes, I am. Yes, we are. Yes.
Can you be a bit more enthusiastic about it, please?
Ugh,
I'm very enthusiastic about
you're
it.
very enthusiastic.
And actually, right, okay, so we're going to do, obviously we're going to do the, what are we drinking? We're drinking fennel and licorice and something tea. It's very nice. Pucker tea, which is pucker. We're going to do the usual, what are we reading? And we're back on the 7 deadly sins again. But before that, let's do the quarantine chronicles, shall we? What have we done this week, Joe?
Well, we had quite a productive Sunday chopping up a tree that blew over in all the high winds we had recently.
Oh, we had a massive bonfire.
We had an enormous bonfire where we got rid of all the branchy stuff and all of the big limbs and things are down in a pile ready to be chainsawed up.
And I had great fun rolling giant pieces of tree down the slope towards Joe.
Yes, that was fun. It was
fun for me.
It was about... It didn't take much of that before I realised that a broken ankle right now would be really bloody inconvenient.
I did wonder about you standing at the bottom,
Yeah.
to be fair. So there were no injuries and there were no destructions of anything, apart from bits of tree that we wanted to burn. So that was cool. What else have we done? We moved the tiny sheep successfully.
Yes, we talked about this last time, didn't we?
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, we'll skip past that. I also planted loads of seeds in the greenhouse, so we're fully prepared for the zombie apocalypse.
Basically turning the dingle over into a small holding for, the foreseeable zombie apocalypse.
So yeah, giant tomatoes, courtesy of Melanie and Simon. Thank you so much for sending me those seeds, guys. They're called Vladex tomatoes, and they're like big heritage meaty beef tomatoes, and they're really flavoursome. So we're going to save the seeds from those and...
Does that work? Can you keep just saving the seeds and keep going?
I think so. I shall find out. We're growing little tomatoes as well. We are growing aubergines, sweet peppers, basil, rocket, mizuna, something else, leeks, onions, and spring onions. And this weekend I'm going to dig out the raised beds and plant loads more onions. We are sorted.
Mm-hmm.
What else have we done? We have... I cleared out and organised the bathroom drawers.
Yeah.
Which has been bothering me for a long time.
One of those things that needs doing urgently as soon as you've got all of the time in the world.
Yeah. We've done one jigsaw.
Very nearly finished.
Very nearly finished. What else? Oh, we made hummus.
We did make...
That was great.
It was very garlicky.
We're not seeing anybody else in person, so we can be as garlicky as we like.
I was offended by my own face. It was like... Jeez.
It was very good hummus. Hummus, by the way, is so bloody easy to make yourself, and it is so much nicer than shop-bought hummus.
It was very good.
So much nicer. It's like the cheapest thing in the world to make as well.
It's
especially if you don't buy tinned chickpeas. And you can make your own tahini.
That sounds complicated.
No, you just mash it in a blender. Anyway, this is not a cooking podcast. This is a writing podcast. The other thing that we did is over one weekend. Annie, hi Annie,
Hi, Annie.
who runs Pure Studios, where we do all of it. Well, I do all of my pole and trapeze training and stuff. Obviously, that got closed, and we were like, shit, what are we going to do? And so we got on the case, all of the instructors got on the case over a weekend and put together an online timetable. Annie got it all up and running in the space of like a day, which is incredible. We've had very few teething problems, and we're now running 6 classes a day, 7 on Sundays, because I'm doing 2 really early morning classes a week. Wake Up with Vicky. And if you want to do that, pure-studios.co.uk, you can sign up for classes. It's like super cheap. It's £3 for a half-hour class and £6 for an hour class. And they're really good fun. And we're doing strength, dance, conditioning, all of that kind of thing. And we've got all of that up and running in, the space of a couple of days.
It's pretty cool.
It's working really well. The classes are really full. We're even picking up new clients, which is great. And you're doing some classes too, aren't you?
I am doing some classes because my club sadly has not actually embraced the getting things done. So my jiu-jitsu has just stopped.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Which is a bit of a shame. So I'm being forced to do contemporary dance and...
You are not doing contemporary.
I don't know what the hell's going on, frankly.
I tried to get him to do contemporary dance last night and he actually ran out the door. He literally ran out the door.
I'm noping my way out of that one.
It was really good fun. So yeah, there's loads of really cool stuff going on, and I really want to hear your quarantine stories, dear listener. If you've got a story from quarantine, if you've got a really cool thing that you're doing at home with your kids, with your family, with your business, how are you pivoting your business so that you can keep selling stuff? And, are you getting shit from anyone for selling stuff? Because if you are, shut the door on them. Because, we're keeping the wheels of the economy moving as small business owners, so don't let anyone shame you into stopping selling. You're not holding a gun to anyone's head and forcing them to buy. And if they don't want to, they can, do something else. That's fine. So yeah, that's what we've been doing. Okay, what are we reading? Because this is, after all, a writing podcast.
Well, I'm reading a series of books called The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan.
I'm gonna have to stop you from doing that.
There's quite a lot of books in the series, and it kind of goes on forever. And now I feel overly invested. And like I'm just gritting my teeth until it finishes.
But you can have a break, though.
I can have a break.
I think it's time for another break, Joe.
Well, maybe. But anyway, it's very good, but there's an awful lot of it.
To break the monotony of Joe's Wheel of Time answer, we've just binged watched on Netflix I'm Not Okay With This, which is like a little short comic book live action, drama. Thing. It's really good. Watch it.
Very good.
Really, really good. And we are also working our way steadily through every episode of Star Trek ever made. We did give up on the original series because I just got too pissed off with how stupid the crew were and how misogynistic the whole thing was.
It was pretty misogynistic.
I mean, it was ahead of its time, but you can't watch it now and be like, yeah, that's okay. It's like, that's not okay. That's really not okay. But TNG is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're enjoying that. So I'm reading The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and she wrote The Night Circus, and I love it. I love The Starless Sea. I'm loving it so much. It's just a feast for my brain. It's just great. I love it. It's beautiful. It's like a little fantasy about books. It's like a love story to books and libraries.
Nice.
I know. It's fabulous. And I've only got like that far into it, and it's that big. So
for those of you listening in black and white, that was a small measurement followed by a large measurement.
Yes. And non-fiction, I'm reading Surrounded by Idiots by Thomas Erickson. And it's all right.
Oh.
It's the idea is great. It's all about how to communicate with different people. And it's like, they're not necessarily an idiot. They're just not hearing what you're saying. And it's all about how it's up to you to make yourself understood, not up to the listener to understand. Which is exactly, as a writer, and as somebody who teaches writing, that's exactly right. It is my responsibility as a communicator to make sure that whoever is listening to me understands what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about how to talk to different types of people and what they might actually hear. Because what you say is not necessarily what people hear, is it? Because, if you're in a bad mood or you're feeling down, somebody might say to you, "Oh, have you thought about doing this?" And what you hear is, "You're shit at everything, and you should just stop." But you know what I mean, right? Joe's giving me a look now that says you're insane.
This is a whole level of subtext that I'm not sure I'm prepared to engage on. As a communicator, people can listen to what I say and then they can understand it. Or they can get out.
Right, I've suggested to Joe that he reads this book. And that was his response. So watch this space for stories of Joe being slapped by people. That's going to be fun. So yeah, what are we talking about this week, Joe?
I have no idea.
We're on 7 Deadly Sins.
I mean, we're 10 minutes in and we haven't really...
But this is how they go.
This is
what people want.
This is what people want, okay.
They've told me, I've
Really?
asked people. Yeah, I've asked people.
This is what they
like,
want.
No, we like that. I'm like, really? I know, right?
People are weird.
Tangents.
Right.
By the way, hi, Wegard.
Hi there, God. Nice to see you recently.
Yeah. So yeah, we are talking about the 7 Deadly Sins, and we are on Deadly Sin number 5, probably not in the Bible number 5, but in this series number 5, which is lust.
It's a good one.
Lust. Yes.
Right.
And so do you know what the punishment for lust according to the Bible was?
Ooh, I don't know.
Being smothered in fire and brimstone.
Oh. Brimstone being sulphur, isn't it?
Yes, I believe so. It's yellow and smelly.
Okay, that's not as fun as I was expecting.
No, but I mean, if that's all that happens, then you would die fairly quickly. And so whilst it's probably not a very nice way to go, it wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, but it'd be like one of those Promethean deaths, wouldn't it?
So you wake up every day, commit the same sin again, and then die horribly.
Yeah.
Okay.
He spent an entire eternity having his liver and gizzards pulled out by eagles on the side of a mountain.
That was careless of him.
I mean, bad idea. But
yeah.
I'm assuming that in hell, time is infinite and you just keep doing it.
Well, according to the TV show Lucifer, that is exactly what happens, and I feel like that's the authority on the matter. So
it's as good as any other.
Yeah. He was, after all, the Lord of Hell. So anyway, I reckon a more imaginative punishment for lust would be to spend eternity naked with the ex that you never want to see again. I think punishment should be appropriate to, the crime.
They should fit.
Yeah, and so, if you go to prison because you habitually kill spiders, then it should be an eternal death by tiny spider bites. If you kick puppies, it should be an eternal death by being nibbled to death by puppies, repeatedly, from the toes upwards.
Okay, well, when, you are in charge of hell, that is your choice.
That's not my ambition.
Is enough.
No. Anyway, that would be my punishment for lust if I were into, being judgmental.
I don't really see the connection between lust and fire and brimstone.
No, me neither. Maybe because you get all hot and sweaty. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws, Joe. Anyway, this is all about writing a book. So let's find out how I've twisted this particular deadly sin into something that you can use while you're writing your book, dear listener. Okay. And I have managed to do this as well.
Okay, well done.
Thanks.
Well done.
So I'm segueing neatly into the difference between love and lust. Okay?
Right.
So the dictionary definition, according to the internet, of lust is a passionate desire for something, and it's sinful if you're going to get all judgmental about it. Right?
Right.
Love is an intense feeling of deep affection. I'm segueing that in a tortured manner into lust is greedy, because it's all about I want this, and love is a gift.
Right. Okay.
I'm impressed with myself right now.
Well, it kind of makes sense.
Thanks. It does make sense. No, because lust is like a greedy thing. It's like, I want, what I want and I want it now and blah. And whereas love is like a lot more gentle and kind of a gift.
Okay.
A gift. I'm gifting my love to you, dear listener.
Not all of them.
No.
Certainly not Vegard.
Oh, we love Vegard.
We do love Vegard.
All kinds of love, Joe. All kinds.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wrote an email fairly recently about how my love is a gift, and it got a really good response. And I'm also going to credit, as I did in the email, the podcast The Secret Lives of Black Women, which is bloody brilliant. Love it. One of my favourite podcasts. They were interviewing Dr. Renee Horton, who is an actual rocket scientist, right? But she wanted to be interviewed not about rocket science, but about the problems with dating. Because as an incredibly intelligent and working for NASA rocket scientist woman, I think she's had a veritable shit show of dating experiences with men who just can't handle an intelligent, ambitious, strong woman.
Right.
And so she wanted to talk about that. But one of the things that she was talking about, she said a few really wise things, as you would expect from a rocket scientist. And a couple of them, I had to stop the car and have a bit of a cry at a couple of them. So I was just like, oh my God, this is great. So one of her things was that she has learned is that love is a gift. To be given freely without any expectation of anything in return. And I loved that. And I was just like, I've never really thought about it in that way before. But if you think about the way, and I've done this before, but I think everybody does this sometimes. The way you say I love you, always expect to hear it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, so I've been on the phone to you when you've been in an office, and I've been like, bye, I love you, and you haven't said it back, which, by the way, you ought to, pull your big boy pants up and not give a shit what anybody else thinks and just say it back if you indeed do love me. He's glaring at me now. But also, I've said it with the expectation of hearing it back, and then I get all pissy when I don't hear it back, and I'm like, well, that's ridiculous. Because
yes, it is.
But also, you not saying it because you're embarrassed is ridiculous.
It's not that I'm embarrassed. It's just,
Anyway, that's a different topic for a different day to argue about.
Possibly not, live on the internet.
Oh, no, totally live on the internet. But she said, my love is a gift to be given without any expectation of anything in the world. And I just really loved it because it takes the weight of expectation off others to reciprocate. So rather than saying something like that it works for friendship as well. It's like, my friendship is a gift to be given freely. And if someone doesn't want it, they don't have to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's up to them. And as soon as you start seeing things that way, it makes everything less painful. Because if you're not expecting any kind of reciprocation for what you're offering,
mm-hmm.
it means that you're not going to be disappointed. And that's not the same as lowering your expectations so that, it's not the same thing as that. It's more like, this is a part of me that I'm giving as a gift.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Are you wondering how to segue this?
So now we're segueing into the whole book writing thing.
Yes. And so, but that got me thinking, rather than trying to push people into doing or feeling things they don't necessarily want to do or feel, it got me thinking about how we do this with books as well. It's like, I'm going to pour myself into the book that I'm writing. I'm going to write it for my reader. I'm going to write it for the person that I want to write it for. I'm going to write it to solve their problem, to help them. But then I don't have to tie my own self-worth into what other people's reactions are to my book.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not constantly waiting for validation from outside of me. And that goes for friendship, for putting a book out there, for putting a product out there or a service or anything like that. It's like, I'm going to create this thing, whatever this thing is. I'm going to put it out there.
And I hope you want it.
And I'm going to charge money for it, because this isn't about giving stuff away for free.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you want it, but you are free to not want it. You are free to not like it. And you are free to completely ignore it. And I put it out there with the hope that people will want it and will want to pay for it and will want to, do more stuff with me.
Okay.
And it's a little bit, it's like it's related to, I do this with my books and my articles and all the rest of it. And I used to get really upset when I didn't get any comments back or when I got negative comments or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put stuff out there without that expectation, it makes it a lot less painful. And it's a bit like what it says in the Bhagavad Gita about, and it says, it's on my wall behind me, you are only entitled to the action, never to its fruits. So you put all of the weight of expectation on what you can control, because you can't control what people think of the stuff that you put out there. You can only control the amount of work that you put into it and
how you feel about it. What you achieve.
Yeah. And if you know you've done your absolute best and you've put it out there with all good intentions to help people, that's enough. And if people want it, they will ask you for it. They will buy it. And if they don't want it, they will pass you by and carry on. And that's okay too. And that goes for pretty much anything that you create, really.
Nice.
Yeah. So I think I did pretty well with torturing lust into a 7 deadly sin about writing a book.
So lust would be the equivalent of writing this book because you want things. You want things in return. You want stuff to come your way.
Yeah.
You want responses and you want this and you want that.
Yeah. And that's not the same. Because, you do write your book because you want it to help you grow your business, but that's not the same thing as writing it because you want people to validate you. Mm-hmm. That's not the same thing. I think there's an important but quite subtle distinction there. So I'm not saying this isn't about writing a novel. And, this goes for fiction writers as well. You will write the book that you want to write. You'll make it as good as you can. You want to make a living out of it. You want people to buy more of your books. You want people to buy your products and services if you're a business owner. And that's fine. You're putting it out there so that it can do that work for you. But you're not hanging your own self-worth and the weight of validation and the weight of expectation onto people liking it and doing something with it, because you can't control that.
Okay.
All you can control is what you create and how you put it out into the world. And so if you put it out there with all of this expectation, it's also going to stop you from finishing it.
Yes, because you'll be scared.
Because
you'll be scared of the response.
Yeah, and you're going to be scared anyway. I'm not saying that you're going to get to the point where you're going to create something, put it out there, and not be scared. You're always going to be scared, because that is the nature of writing. It's always scary. I'm scared every time I send an email out to my list. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that if you put that much weight of expectation on what you're creating, it will stop you from doing your best work. It will hamper you. You will spend too much time kind of ruminating over it and worrying about what other people's reactions are going to be, which you have no control over at all. So rather than worrying about what other people's reactions are going to be, you put it out, you do the best you can, you get your beta readers, you do all of the preparation and stuff that I talk about in my book, which you can buy on Amazon. And and then you put it out there and you market it and you do that to the best of your ability. And then what comes to you, comes to you. You can't control anything beyond what you do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that is my podcast all about lust, the fifth deadly sin of writing a book.
Okay, cool. So what have we got left?
Greed, wrath, something else. Oh no, that's 7 then, isn't it? Greed and wrath.
Greed and wrath.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Nice. All right, cool.
So yeah, what's the takeaway, Joe?
Let go of the expectations. You can only control your actions and not other people's responses.
Remember that when you're locked up with your family and locked down. But you also have a choice. I wanted to say this as well, actually, because I heard somebody say, "Oh, this is, it's all miserable, it's all awful, none of this is fun, and blah blah blah." And yes, this is it's totally weird time, like so weird,
Unprecedented strangeness.
But every day that you wake up, you have a choice to make this a good day or a bad day. And that is words of wisdom from Sue, who is one of my superheroes and one of the most beautiful people I know. And her daughter took her own life a year and a half ago. And if she can say that, if she can wake up every day and make a choice that today is going to be as good a day as she can make it, then I reckon the rest of us can as well. Because it is a choice.
Yeah.
And, you're still going to have shit days, and she has terrible days. Of course she does. But she makes a choice every morning that this is going to be as good a day as I can make it. Because she's amazing. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Sue.
And yeah, I think we can do the same thing. So if you're having a bad day, remember, you can't control always what happens to you, but you can always control your reaction to it. I think that's super important.
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway, coming up next week, we are going to be talking about deadly sin number 6, which is greed.
Nice.
And how I'm going to wangle that into a podcast episode that's relevant. Joe may have interestingly coloured hair because, he's also doing an amazing eyebrow dance. You really need to get onto YouTube and watch that.
It's freaking me out because it's the wrong side.
Rightio.
Moving on.
So we're going to be doing greed next week. I'm going to have my blue hair because that is my trademark blue hair. Joe may have, I can't remember what colour we ordered. Was it lime green?
I don't know. There was definitely some bleach involved and then the brightest colour we could find because clearly I'm a responsible grown-up and now is my opportunity to just have stupid hair.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. Oh my God, he's letting me loose on his hair with hair dye.
And then I will shave it all off.
No, he won't. Because I'm here all the time and I can hide all the clippers and it's going to be amazing. Anyway, so yeah, you're definitely going to want to tune into video next week because Joe's hair is going to be exciting.
Mm.
What's going on in my world? Just, you know what? It all went to shit. When the world ended, it all went to shit. So there is a waiting list for my live Write Your Book course. I'm still planning on starting the course on June the 1st. There is going to be a waiting list. Who knows whether it'll be alive when you get to listen to this podcast because, like I said, the world ended. So, yeah, we'll see. But that's still going on. If you would like to do my live book writing course, drop me an email and I will make sure that you are among the first to know about it and are on the waiting list when it starts. If you have listened to every episode, email me with your postal address and I will send you a special silly gift. I'm trying to revive the ancient art of letter writing right now because we can't see people face to face. I'm really good at sending stuff through the post. I like doing that. If you've listened to every episode, let me know and I will send you something through the post.
Nice.
If you want a random thing, like my sister-in-law the other day on Facebook was like, I was just like buying random stuff for the villagers, and she was like, I would like Harrison Ford and a sherbet dib dab, so I sent her Harrison Ford and a sherbet dib dab because I'm hilarious.
Oh, she liked it.
She did. Right, go and rate us on iTunes
5 stars.
and a review. Joe likes reading the reviews.
I do.
Makes him happy. And if you know someone who will enjoy this nonsense, send them a link. moxiebooks.co.uk /podcast. We will be doing the Quarantine Chronicles every episode, as well as, the normal rambling.
I think they're going to get sketchier and sketchier as we go through.
Yes. And I also would like to say thank you so much to Harriet, who is my assistant.
Hey, Harriet.
She's amazing. And happy birthday, because it was her birthday actually quite a long time ago now that you're listening to this, but not a long time ago when we're recording it. Time travel. I would also like to say thank you so much to the guys at Podfly, Eric and Anne, and all of the guys who do our editing and stuff, because they are still working. They are still keeping the podcast running for us, even though Costa Rica is as locked down as we are. So thank you guys. You are absolute superstars and we love you, and you always do an amazing job. So thanks for that. And we'll be back same time next week.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. You can find links and show notes on the website at moxiebooks.co.uk /podcast, where you can also sign up for the best daily emails in the multiverse and find loads of free resources to help you write your book. We'll be back the same time next week with more tales from the book writing trenches and the latest on what the tiny sheeps have been up to.